Chapter 1. The classic opening and becoming a loser in the clan after transmigration. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 1. The classic opening and becoming a loser in the clan after transmigration. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. In the main hall, the coiling dragon cloud pillar stood in 4 directions, namely north, south, east, and west. The dragon's eyes were lifelike as if they would come alive in the next second. The dragon's roar resounded, exuding a threatening aura everywhere. The Lin family's elders and the disciples of the family stood on both sides. They did not dare to speak loudly as they were afraid that they would disturb some sort of existence. They only held their breaths. There was a simple and unadorned stone tablet in the middle of the hall. Under the gazes of everyone present, Lin Mo took a deep breath and slowly placed his hand on the stone tablet. After a long while, there was no response from the stone tablet. Lin Mo, Level 1. An elder spoke with an expressionless face. The words hit Lin Mo's heart like a heavy hammer. The sentence caused quite a commotion in the crowd as well. Why is Lin Mo still at Level 1? He has been through so many tests. He's basically trash. The Lin family will never raise a useless person regardless of whether they're a direct descendant or not. This is a rule set by the ancestor. He was a genius in his prime. Now, he isn't even comparable to a newbie who has just joined the clan. If the news spreads, it'll be a disgrace to the Lin family. I heard that quite a lot of heavenly and earthly treasures have been spent to nurture him over the years. What an utter waste. Why don't we spend the effort and time to nurture another person instead? Who knows, the other person might have already reached the foundation establishment stage. The surrounding discussions as well as everyone's gazes landed on Lin Mo. It was as if they pierced through him. In fact, he was basically a fish on a chopping board. Lin Mo subconsciously clenched his fists and his veins popped out. However, he had no choice but to release his grip. It turned out that he was once a genius of the Lin family. He had reached the peak of level 5 of the body refining stage and was about to reach the foundation establishment stage. However, for some unknown reason, he had lost all of his cultivation and regressed back to level 1. All these years, no matter how much he cultivated, he could not break through level 1. Enough. The noisy main hall suddenly fell silent. What's the point of all this commotion? Clan leader Lin Xian's expression was dignified and he gave off an extraordinary aura. He observed Lin Mo, whose eyes were cold and filled with disappointment. All Lin Mo felt at that moment was bitterness. The second elder said, "Clan leader, Lin Mo has already used up a lot of our clan's resources. Yet, he's still stuck at level 1. According to the clan's rules, he should be stripped of his surname and expelled from the clan." As soon as he finished speaking, someone tried to stop him. Absolutely not. Clan leader, Brother Lin Mo was once a genius. However, he's unable to recover due to some reason. I hope that you can use your discretion in dealing with him. The voice, which sounded like it belonged to an Oriole, was very pleasant to the ear. It was Lin Mo's younger sister, Lin Qingyue. She possessed outstanding talent ever since she was young. If it had not been for her, the Lin family would not have tolerated Lin Mo for so long. The clan was divided into 2 factions. One faction was led by the second elder, whereas the other faction was led by Lin Qingyue. Both factions had been arguing furiously whether they should kick Lin Mo out. In the end, it was Lin Xian who compromised. "Lin Mo, I'll send you to an auction house. If you manage it well, there's still a chance for you to come back." Lin Qingyue frowned and wanted to add something. However, after seeing Lin Xian's expression, she knew that this was his biggest concession. On the day Lin Mo left, no one except Lin Qingyue sent him off. Lin Qingyue hoped that the situation would not make Lin Mo seem so pathetic. Lin Mo did not take it to heart as many people had already been cold toward him over these past few years. As the saying goes, man struggles upwards, water flows downwards. This principle had never changed since ancient times. Who would spend their time to send off a good for nothing like him? Do send me a message as soon as you arrive there. If you need something or if anyone bullies you, let me know. Lin Qingyue's voice brought Lin Mo back to reality from his thoughts. Seeing the concern in her eyes, he felt somewhat relieved. Don't worry, I'll take care of myself. The setting sun was radiant. Lin Mo brought a few servants and stepped onto the carriage, but he did not notice the black shadow following him. A few miserable cries could be heard from the depths of the forest at night. Following that, a few night birds circled around in fear. The carriage had already been split into pieces and the Lin flag had been broken at the waist. As for the white flag, it was stained with blood. Additionally, the bonfire was snuffed out. It seemed as though a huge battle had just occurred here. A few corpses were sprawled on the ground, including Lin Mo's. Supposedly, the corpses would be discovered by the Lin family in a few days. As their belongings were looted, everyone would think that this was the doing of robbers. It was all for money. However, Lin Mo opened his eyes abruptly. He moved his fingers and swept them around his surroundings. What the f***? He let out a curse. Originally, he was sitting at home but suddenly, he got transmigrated. The only thing that remained the same was his name. After sorting out his memories, Lin Mo felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. This was the classic start of a loser's story in the 21st century, right? Although everyone had given up on him, the original host himself did not. After searching day and night, he finally found out that this happened due to his unique constitution, the God-devouring body. This constitution would revert to its original form, the first time one cultivated to the peak of level 5. That was why their original bodies had fallen back to level 1 when they were in the foundation establishment stage. If one wanted to cultivate again, they would need to consume a large number of heavenly materials and earthly treasures on a regular basis. Otherwise, their life would be in danger. Although a lot of resources had been spent on the original body, it was clearly not enough. Thus, their cultivation could not advance even though their life was in danger. In this case, one could see how special this kind of constitution was. This could be viewed as a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. Moreover, it was extremely difficult to cultivate. Nevertheless, this constitution possessed endless potential. According to the records, there was even a possibility of breaking through to the peak of level 9 or even reaching a higher realm. Nevertheless, the Lins did not know about the twists and turns of it. They only knew that Lin Mo had used up a lot of resources but was unable to break through. Even his body had been damaged. He was simply trash. Therefore, they sent Lin Mo to a remote place. He would have a chance to return. Even so, who knew how long it would take? Lin Mo could not help but roll his eyes. It was fine for him to abandon such a clan. He could not be bothered. This continent was called the Eastern Continent, which was one of the 5 continents. In the north of the Eastern Continent, Lin City was one of the most prosperous cities other than the capital city. Lin City was also the Lin family's territory. At this moment, Lin Mo was going to Chushin village, which was located in a small town near the border of the Eastern Continent. Since his physique was placed here and the resources of the clan were not enough to awaken it, he might as well go out and try his luck. Furthermore, Lin Mo was worried that he would be discovered due to his personality being different from the original host. Now that the original soul of this body was dead, he had to take over. Regardless, he should not be exposed as long as he was careful. Furthermore, he could act freely. With this in thought, Lin Mo decided to set off immediately. It would be bad if the robbers returned. Chapter 2. The auction rebate system has been awakened. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. The auction rebate system has been awakened. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Lin Mo found the map to Chushin village and set off. Fortunately, it was not too far away. Otherwise, without any carriages or horses, who knew how long it would take for him to walk out of this forest with his level 1 strength. The sky looked like the color of a fish's belly. There were small houses scattered all around like mushrooms growing out of flat grounds. As the sun had just risen, countless rays of light shone down on the planet and coated the eaves of the houses with a layer of golden light. These low houses were surrounded by endless fields. A gentle breeze blew, causing countless waves of wheat to roll one after another. This made the place seem even more spacious. Lin Mo finally spotted people in front of him. He could not help but quicken his pace. After walking for an entire night, he could barely feel his feet. Luckily, nothing happened during the journey and he did not encounter any danger. After much difficulty, Lin Mo arrived at the entrance of the village. There was a sign hanging nearby. Due to the wind and sunlight, the original color of the sign had long faded. Some of the words were already mottled and disconnected. Lin Mo could barely make out the original sentences. Everything was so crooked. In fact, it looked like a child's graffiti. There was also a big tree beside Lin Mo. He did not know how long it had been rooted here, but the tree was thick and had a sturdy trunk. Clearly, it was very old. Even if a few people combined their strength, it would be difficult for them to uproot it. The rings on the tree were proof that it had been alive for countless years. The branches of the tree were lush and the canopy was very tall. When a person walked under it, they could feel a chill. It was simply a good cooling place during the warm summer. Many red silks were tied to the tree and there seemed to be written words on them. However, Lin Mo could not see them clearly. "Young man, why are you here?" said an old voice. This almost scared Lin Mo. An old man wearing a straw hat appeared from behind the tree trunk. He had simple clothing on and his pants were half rolled up. His shoes were made of cloth and he looked just like any ordinary person. Lin Mo and the old man were sizing each other up. Since Lin Mo was dressed well, it was obvious that he came from a large town. The old man could not help but be filled with doubt and surprise. He sighed, "Other than mercenaries, it's been a long time since anyone has come here. My name is Lin Mo. I'm here to manage the auction." The old man looked at Lin Mo from head to toe again. Originally, his eyes were half closed but now, they were completely opened. At the same time, it revealed a sharp glint. "You're from the Lin family." Lin Mo nodded and took out the clan leader's documents. He handed them to the old man. After taking a long look, the old man said, "It's the chief's seal." Just like tree barks, his hands were full of wrinkles. He flipped through the documents and touched the seal as if he was touching something rare. If Lin Mo did not say anything, he might have kept touching it for the whole day. "May I know who exactly you are?" The old man waved his hand, indicating for Lin Mo to follow him. "I'm the chief of this village. The people here call me Old Lin or Old Man Lin. You can call me whatever you want." Lin Mo did not expect the old man to be the chief of Chushin village. After all, he was so down to earth. The old man could see the astonishment in Lin Mo's eyes and explained, "We're in a poor and remote village. We don't have to follow those stupid rules. It doesn't matter what we do. You're so young. Why are you here?" "Well, since it's the clan leader's order, we'll just go with the flow." Old Lin nagged as he brought Lin Mo into the village. There were only about a dozen households. They were scattered around the village. Obviously, not many people reside in this village. Chushin village was not considered prosperous. It was said to be one of the branches of the Lin family, but most of the people were merely from the countryside. Nonetheless, there were also other factions. Most of the young people who had the ability or talent were aiming for bigger cities. They wanted to go and expand their horizons, achieving something impressive. Those who stayed in the village were mostly old, weak, or sick. You've seen the situation of our village. The population is sparse and the place's structure is simple. There aren't many young people like you. Soon, the two of them arrived at the village. No one really paid any attention to them. Uncle Wang, meet someone from my family. An old man was taking a nap at the main entrance. When he heard old Lin's voice, he immediately opened his eyes. When he saw Lin Mo, his eyes immediately lit up. He was so excited that tears began filling his eyes. You're Lin Mo. I haven't seen you in so many years. You've grown up. Based on Lin Mo's memories, this old man was Butler Wang. Everyone called him Uncle Wang. He treated the original host very well during his younger days. For some reason, he was sent to this village. Seeing that Lin Mo and Uncle Wang knew each other, old Lin did not say anything more. Once he introduced them, he left so they could catch up. Where are the rest of the people in Uncle Wang's auction house? Uncle Wang laughed bitterly. There aren't any other people. I'm the only one here. For a moment, Lin Mo did not know what to say. He knew that there was nothing in the auction house right now. Otherwise, they would not have fallen into such a state. Although all of Lin Mo's valuables had been stolen by the robbers, the interspatial ring had already recognized its owner. Ordinary people would not be able to access it, so he still had it. After all, he was once a genius. Even if he was down and out, he should still have some good items. However, most of them had been used up by the original host. There were not many items left. If only these few items were enough to set up the auction house well. Anyway, that was simply a fantasy. Just as Lin Mo was at a loss, a mechanical voice sounded in his mind. He thought that he was hallucinating. Ding! The auction rebate system has been initiated. A huge screen appeared in front of Lin Mo. It was similar to those in online games. A few rows of words appeared. Lin Mo finally realized that the so-called auction rebate system could directly provide direct multiplier rebates. Furthermore, it had the basic ability to identify items. However, the rebates were random. For the time being, they could range from a few times to 10,000 times. The higher the multiple, the stronger one's own strength would be. There was also a limit to the quality of the items and rebate. Additionally, one could not auction off items that had rebates. Lin Mo's spirit was instantly roused. This rebate system was tailor-made for him. He could use it to improve the auction house. Who knows, he might even be able to use this opportunity to obtain rebate items to train his divine body. It was like killing two birds with one stone. Despite that, he did not have many things in his hands right now. He only had the most basic body. Refining technique, long fist. It had nothing to do with cultivation, and Lin Mo only wanted to strengthen his body. There was also the ordinary, iron sword, and some body. Refining pills that would delay his illness. Chapter 3. 10.000. Fold return. Heavenly recovery pill. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 3. 10.000. Fold return. Heavenly recovery pill. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Lin Mo made a prompt decision and prepared to hold the first auction. After all, the auction house in Chushin village had not been open for a long time. Firstly, he wanted to let more people know about this auction house. Secondly, he wanted to try out the auction rebate system. Upon hearing Lin Mo's decision, Uncle Wang was a little surprised. He could not help but ask, "Young Master Lin Mo, are you sure? We don't have anything to auction. This auction house has been empty for a long time. In fact, it's essentially an empty house. Lin Mo nodded. Don't worry, Uncle Wang. I know what I'm doing. I'll handle the items for auction. You just need to help spread the news around. Make sure that there are as many people as possible attending the auction. Even though Uncle Wang still had some doubts, he followed Lin Mo's orders and did as he was told. On the other hand, Lin Mo received another visit from the village chief. The village chief hurriedly went up to him. Aren't you tired from your journey? Why are you looking for me? Lin Mo did not beat around the bush and went straight to the point. Village chief, I wanted to ask you about Chushin village. I thought it was something important. Is that it? The village chief casually poured 2 cups of tea and its faint fragrance filled the room. Lin Mo had never smelled this fragrance before. It was very refreshing. These tea leaves are homegrown. They can't be compared to what you're used to. I hope you don't mind it. Lin Mo took a sip. It tasted a little bitter. Then, a slight sweetness followed and it spread around his mouth, giving off an endless aftertaste. You should have already noticed the situation in Chushin village. There's no need for me to say more. Other than some bandits and robbers, the only forces that visit this place are the famous Dragon Tiger Mercenary Group and Wolf Mercenary Group. Although Chushin village was small, it happened to be located at the intersection of several large cities. There were also some fine resources nearby. The place was quite remote, but sometimes, mercenaries would stay there temporarily. The leaders of these 2 mercenary groups were around level 6. They were definitely not weaker than the village chief. When the village chief heard that Lin Mo was going to hold an auction, he also did not think that it was a wise decision. You want me to invite them over? The village chief shook his head. Their strength is about the same as mine, so they might not be willing to listen to me. Unless there is something good, they won't be interested. Lin Mo said confidently, there will definitely be something good. Village chief, you just need to spread the word for me. Everything will be fine. The village chief thought to himself, since he came all the way over here to take over the auction house, he should have brought some things with him. I guess it wouldn't be a problem. Thus, he agreed. Shortly after, the news of an auction being held in Chushin village was spread to all nearby factions. This was all thanks to the village chief and the other villagers. The villagers were more or less ordinary people. It was rare for someone like Lin Mo to come to the village and hold an auction. In fact, they had never encountered such a situation before. It almost felt like a hoax. All of a sudden, the deserted village had become much more lively. Everyone was doing their best to promote Lin Mo. I heard that there's going to be an auction at Chushin village. Are you going? There's an auction at Chushin village. Are you kidding me? What can they sell? The villagers aren't very strong. Don't tell me that they're just going to sell some crops. If that happens, they'll be making a fool out of themselves. Who knows? They might use the auction as a way to fool us. I heard that the Lin family sent someone to take over the auction house. Really? That's not a lie, right? If it's really held by someone from the Lin family, then there's no harm in going to take a look. Just treat it as a show. Time passed quickly and soon, it was the day of the auction. Thanks to Uncle Wang and Lin Mo's hard work, the originally dilapidated auction house turned out looking decent. After publicizing for the past few days, more people came than Lin Mo had anticipated. The rumor of the auction being held by a member of the Lin family helped. More than half of the rooms were filled. However, the cultivation levels of these people were generally not high. This was not unexpected. Besides, why would people with high cultivation levels appear here? Under Lin Mo's signal, Uncle Wang started the auction. Lin Mo cleared his throat. The first item to be auctioned is a body refining pill. For cultivators, they'll be able to quickly recover their strength after eating it. For those at levels 1 and 2, they'll be able to increase their spiritual energy rapidly. The starting price is 100 low-grade spirit stones. 200, 300. There were not many medicinal pills in the border regions. Hence, even though the body refining pill was nothing out of the ordinary, people quickly placed their bids. In the end, it was sold for 1,000 low-grade spirit stones. Spirit stones were divided into low, medium, high, and top-grade. Low-grade spirit stones were the worst, but they were also the most commonly used currency. 10,000 low-grade spirit stones equal 1 middle-grade spirit stone, 10,000 middle-grade spirit stones equal 1 high-grade stone, and so on. Following the successful auction, a mechanical voice sounded in Lin Mo's mind once again. Ding! Host, you've auctioned the body refining pill. Successfully triggered 10,000 times return. Acquired low-grade tier 9 pill. Heavenly recovery pill. Lin Mo took a deep breath. Fortunately, he was currently backstage. Thus, no one could see the shock and astonishment on his face. Tier 9 pill. As the name implied, one could tell how powerful it was. A heavenly recovery pill. This was previously what the god-devouring body needed. If one were to go berserk, this thing could save their life. Chapter 4. Nothing good. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Nothing good. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Lin Mo was unable to calm down for a long time. Even the original host of this body had never heard of a heavenly recovery pill before. The Lin clan was very powerful and the original host was a genius. Since he had never seen this pill, it was enough to show its worth. Having this pill was equivalent to having a life-saving talisman. No matter what went wrong during cultivation, there would be a way to remedy it. It was not an exaggeration to say that this pill was the dream item of almost every cultivator. Yet Lin Mo was able to obtain it easily. If word got out, it would infuriate people to death. The gap between Lin Mo and other cultivators had widened in an instant. After Lin Mo had composed himself, he went to auction off the second item. It was his personal sword. The current situation was different from the past. Other than being slightly sharper and being made using slightly better materials, this sword was rather basic. There was nothing special about it. In the end, it was auctioned off for 1,500 low-grade spirit stones. Ding! The host has auctioned off an iron sword. 1,000-fold return has been successfully triggered. You have obtained a mid-grade tier 7 ice soul silver light sword. This did not excite Lin Mo as much as the pill. There was indeed a difference between 1,000-fold and 10,000-fold return. It seemed like his luck had been pretty good at the start. Of course, this did not mean that the recent item he had obtained was not good. Even the village chief and the two mercenary group leaders' weapons were far inferior to this sword. The mid-grade tier 7 ice soul silver light sword was able to affect the surrounding elements. An elemental weapon was also very rare. Furthermore, the resources here were scarce. Thus, it was difficult to come across a 7th rank weapon. Even in the Lin family, this was not a common sight. The third article was a body tempering cultivation technique. It was quite ordinary. Normal people would not be able to use it while cultivators despise it. In short, it was basically useless. Everyone, don't underestimate this cultivation technique. The younger generation must learn it. This is also a cultivation technique that the Lin family doesn't pass on to outsiders. I've only unwillingly brought it out for the sake of this auction. As Uncle Wang listened to Lin Mo's words, he felt that something was not right. Despite that, he had no way of refuting. The same goes for the people who were present. Lin Mo's persuasive words were learned from the 21st century. Even though he was trying to scam people, he felt that it must be done. As expected, after his extravagant bragging, the article was bought at the price of 1,700 low-grade spirit stones. Ding! The host has auctioned off the body tempering cultivation technique. Successfully triggered 500 times return. Obtained Tier 5 top. Grade martial art, Dragon Elephant Fist technique. The rewards from the auction return system could not be recycled. This was done to prevent people from taking advantage of the loophole. Using unlimited returns to obtain unlimited rewards was impossible. Lin family's authentic items. All of them are just trash. You're only deceiving these country bumpkins who haven't seen the world. In fact, you're nothing but a swindler. Just as everything was going smoothly, an unpleasant voice could suddenly be heard. The person who said this was a middle-aged man. Judging from his appearance, he should be from a mercenary group. However, it was unknown which mercenary group he belonged to. As soon as he finished speaking, several people echoed, "That's right. You're trying to fool us with rubbish. Aren't you ashamed of auctioning these items? I advise everyone to disperse as soon as possible. We, the Hungry Wolf Mercenary Group, have plenty of these things. I can't believe I purposely came here to take a look. What a waste of time and energy." The atmosphere in the auction hall became awkward and silent. These few people caused everyone else's expressions to turn ugly. Moreover, due to their tyrannical might, no one was able to argue back. At this moment, Lin Mo suddenly spoke out, "Today is just a warm-up. The next auction will be held in 3 days. There will be a Tier 5 top. Grade martial art to be auctioned off." These words were like sparks falling into a pot of oil. The gloomy atmosphere was instantly ignited. What? Did I hear wrongly? A Tier 5 top. Grade martial art. Is it true? Could it be that he's trying to trick us into coming here again? I don't think so. After all, if he goes back on his words, his future auctions will be doomed. Lin Mo did not say anything else and only added, "This auction house is also willing to pay a higher commission than other auction houses to collect the items." Before the crowd could digest what he said, Lin Mo had already thrown out another piece of important news. Then, he turned and left, ignoring everyone's reactions. By the time the crowd had dispersed, it was already midnight. Uncle Wang and Lin Mo decided to take a short break after tidying up. Uncle Wang wanted to say something but he seemed hesitant. "Young Master Lin Mo, you said earlier that you're going to auction off a Tier 5 top. Grade martial art." During their earlier chat, Uncle Wang had already found out about the robbery that Lin Mo had encountered. He was a little worried that Lin Mo was spouting empty words due to anger. Integrity was the most important thing for an auctioneer. If Lin Mo was unable to bring out the promised item, then everything would be ruined. Lin Mo knew that Uncle Wang was just worried about him. So, he comforted the old butler. "When the time comes, you'll see for yourself. I'm going to be cultivating for the next few days. Uncle Wang, try your best to collect some items that are 3rd rank and above. Also, make preparations for the upcoming auction." After giving his instructions, Lin Mo went to the backyard of the auction house to find a secluded place. The auction house was lacking in every area, but it was big. Lin Mo was able to find a spot where he would not be disturbed. Since Uncle Wang would take care of things, Lin Mo could cultivate in peace for the next 3 days. Chapter 5. The Miraculous Effects of the Heavenly Recovery Pill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. The Miraculous Effects of the Heavenly Recovery Pill. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. With a thought, the Heavenly Recovery Pill appeared in Lin Mo's palm. The air was immediately filled with a rich medicinal fragrance, refreshing one's heart and mind. The white pill was very round and 9 circle patterns encircled it. As expected of a top. Grade pill. Just by looking at it, Lin Mo felt that his exhausted spiritual energy was replenished. It was as if some unknown power had entered his body. Without any hesitation, Lin Mo swallowed the pill and it slid down his throat. Suddenly, he felt as if there was a small sun in his abdomen. His body became warmer and warmer. Lin Mo tried to use his spiritual energy to release this lump of heat source. He could feel the various elements in the air begin to pulsate. Countless amounts of spiritual energy were drawn into his body. Originally, his spiritual power was so little that it was almost empty. With the sudden influx of so much spiritual power that traveled at lightning speed flowing through his meridians and blood, it felt like they were attacking major acupoints in his body. Each impact would bring waves of intense pain. Lin Mo felt as if he was going to drown. If this happened to an ordinary person, they would have already started bleeding from their 7 orifices. Their meridians would also have exploded. Fortunately, Lin Mo had a god-slaying body. Thus, his face only turned slightly pale. Nonetheless, it felt as if all of his bones and tendons were being crushed. Lin Mo could even faintly hear the sound of his joints cracking. His forehead was completely covered in sweat. He was unsure how long he would last. The pill's heaven-revolving spiritual energy continued to flow throughout Lin Mo's body. His meridians, which had been stagnant for a long time, had finally expanded. Boom! It felt like something was pouring down. Previously, Lin Mo's meridians were only the size of a finger. Now, they were comparable to a waterfall. The speed at which the spiritual energy flowed was getting faster and faster. At the same time, the amount of spiritual energy absorbed was also increasing. The spiritual energy around was being guided and they continuously flowed towards this place. Countless black impurities were expelled out of Lin Mo's body. At this moment, an unprecedented sense of comfort enveloped his body. He had removed the shackles of his mortal body as if he had been enlightened. Lin Mo felt like he was soaking in a hot spring. Every pore on his body had opened up. He was breathing spiritual energy in and out. The spiritual energy had been refined to a purer state. If someone were to see this dream-like scene right now, they would definitely be shocked. Countless specks of spiritual energy crowded around Lin Mo. The spiritual energy even turned into a white mist. Eventually, they formed into a huge cocoon. Lin Mo was within it. A divine light flickered. It made him look like a god. The light was soon extinguished, but the spiritual energy was getting more and more abundant. After an unknown amount of time, Lin Mo slowly opened his eyes. It was as if a clear divine light was surrounding him. In this state, people may not dare look at him directly. Lin Mo let out a long breath. He could not help but sigh. As expected of the heavenly recovery pill. His entire body had been transformed by the pill. Lin Mo felt like he had been reborn. There was no way an ordinary person's body could contain so much spiritual energy. Their bodies would have exploded and they would have died long ago. This was the crucial difference. The auction return system was like a cheat tool. With this system, Lin Mo would no longer have to worry about cultivation resources. As long as he had good luck, all the top resources in this world would be within his grasp. Additionally, with his god-slaying body, Lin Mo's absorption speed was much faster than an average person's. After consuming a Tier 9 medicinal pill, those with a low cultivation base would take months to absorb it. On the other hand, he was able to absorb all the medicinal effects in a short period of time. Furthermore, Lin Mo had also recovered his peak of 5th rank strength. His base cultivation was essentially done. Lin Mo circulated his spiritual force once more before starting to cultivate the Dragon Elephant Fist technique. By the time he opened his eyes, 2 days had passed. However, he felt as if only a few hours had gone by. If Uncle Wang did not wake him up, Lin Mo would probably continue to meditate. Seeing Lin Mo once again, Uncle Wang felt that he was a little different. Despite that, he could not exactly pinpoint the difference other than the aura around him was more extraordinary. Young Master Lin Mo, I've already spread the news. All the experts in this vicinity have heard that Chushin Village's auction house is about to auction off a Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique. From the looks of it, they're all determined to obtain it. Lin Mo nodded. He was satisfied with Uncle Wang's efficiency. Thank you, Uncle Wang. You've worked hard these past few days. Uncle Wang was slightly overwhelmed by the praise. This is my job. Young Master Lin Mo is too courteous. By the way, where are we supposed to get a Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique? Those people were so enthusiastic. If you could not present the article, they would probably tear down the place. Literally. Lin Mo had the auction return system in his hands, so there was nothing to worry about. There was only one issue on his mind. The resources he obtained were all reserved for his own use to satisfy the god-slaying body. As for the weapons, he would keep the ones that were handy. The rest would be auctioned off. It was the same for martial arts. He would first cultivate them, then auction them off. Although there was a rule that the system's rewards could not be commerced back to it, Lin Mo could still use them to earn spirit stones or other items. Otherwise, he would not be able to obtain other rewards. In short, no matter what, it was a profitable business. Also, while the young master was cultivating, I've used the Lin family's reputation along with the news of the upcoming auction to purchase quite a few items that were above 3rd rank. There are also a number of people who are willing to send their items over to be auctioned off. Young Master Lin Mo, I hope that you will not deduct their profits when the time comes. Uncle Wang was meticulous in his calculations. It did not matter if the initial stage of the auction earned them only a little money. The most important thing was to make a name for the young master. Lin Mo had the same thought. Uncle Wang, don't worry. I will only take 10% of their profits. In an ordinary auction house, if people wanted to auction off their items, they would have to pay at least 30 to 50% of their profits as handling fees. Yet, Lin Mo only planned to take 10%. This was practically charity. Lin Mo's goals were not tied to his profits. The most important thing was the auction return system. As long as an item was auctioned, there would be a return. Uncle Wang was slightly moved by Lin Mo's actions. Young master, are you trying to use this method to build up the reputation for our auction house so we'll receive better items in the future? Unexpectedly, Lin Mo shook his head and said mysteriously, I have my own agendas. Furthermore, there's really a Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique that'll be auctioned off. Upon hearing those words, Uncle Wang became curious. However, since Lin Mo did not elaborate, he did not pester further either. Chapter 6. Auction items received. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Auction items received. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Uncle Wang led Lin Mo to the room where the auction items were stored. The room had many shelves. Some of the paint had peeled off, making them look mottled. However, their surface had been polished well. They were smooth and shiny. It was probably Uncle Wang's handiwork. Only a few of the shelves were filled with items, making the room seem somewhat empty. Lin Mo was confident that one day, this room would be filled with a dazzling array of items. Lin Mo followed Uncle Wang to the front row of the shelves. There were a number of items. Young master, these are the 4 best items I've obtained in the past 2 days. First is the worry-free grass, a low-grade Tier 4 herb. It can treat chronic illnesses and also help in cultivation. This grass was picked by a young man in the ancient forest nearby. It's effective for cultivators below Tier 6 foundation establishment and helps them reach the peak of Tier 6. The grass on the counter looked no different from the wild grass by the roadside. It was very ordinary, but it had a few extra leaves. Most of the people here were below Tier 6 and many of them could use it. Lin Mo believed that it would catch most people's attention. The next item is a 4th rank top.grade martial art. If Lin Mo was unable to bring out the tier 5 top.grade martial art, Uncle Wang was going to use this piece of article as a replacement. It should be fine. At least, not everyone would be angry. Uncle Wang got lucky. This article was originally someone else's family heirloom, but due to their family's decline, they had no choice but to sell it to clear off their debt. Coincidentally, they heard about the upcoming auction. Thus, they reluctantly sent it over. Lin Mo casually flipped through the piece of article. It's quite a good sword technique. Moving on. This is a tier 3 top.grade chi essence pill. I've obtained it from the most outstanding local alchemist. It can quickly recover and nurture one's vitality as well as solidify their foundation. There were also alchemists around this place, but their level and strength were not high. A tier 3 top.grade chi essence pill should already be beyond their expectations. Lastly, here's a tier 3 top.grade black fish egg. It's from the leader of the Dragon Tiger mercenary group residing at Blackwater Lake. Originally, he planned to sell it when he arrived in the next town. However, when he heard that an auction was going to be held here, he immediately sent it here instead. The small fish egg was placed in a transparent glass container. It was as thick as ink and did not have any impurities. In fact, it looked just like a black jade. There were also a few second-rank miscellaneous items. Nonetheless, they still exceeded Lin Mo's expectations. Since this place was remote, Lin Mo did not expect to come across any good items. However, there were actually decent resources. The key was knowing how to excavate them. It was rare for there to be an auction. To boot, a tier 5 top.grade cultivation technique would be the finale. Almost everyone decided to join in and brought out their best items. Besides, the handling fee was very little. If they could sell off their items for a decent price, then they would make a huge profit. With these items, Lin Mo began to plan for tomorrow's auction. Other than those 4 items, there was still the tier 5 dragon elephant fist technique. Lin Mo had already learned this technique. He could clearly remember it in his mind. Hence, he could auction it off. The auction house's reputation would definitely increase. Tomorrow, we'll auction off the 2nd and 3rd rank items first. The last item will be the tier 5 cultivation technique. Uncle Wang nodded and said, that's for sure. If we start with the tier 5 cultivation technique, there wouldn't be any suspense. Once people were heated up, the auction would truly begin. Suddenly, Uncle Wang thought of something and said, oh right. Young master, we still lack an auctioneer. Don't you think we should look for someone? After all, neither of us are suitable. Although Uncle Wang and Lin Mo were the hosts of the previous auction, they were still amateurs. Lin Mo's modern speech skills were alright, but he was no professional. It could work temporarily. However, in the long run, they needed a better solution. How could an auction not have a professional auctioneer? This only happened because Lin Mo had just arrived and did not have time to make the full preparations. Anyway, Lin Mo decided to leave this matter to Uncle Wang. Uncle Wang, I'll let you handle it. I'm willing to pay a high price to hire an auctioneer, so please keep an eye out for someone suitable. The auctioneer's skill doesn't have to be the best. That can be attained through experience. What's most important is honesty. Of course, the person also needs to be reliable as well. If the auctioneer turned out to be a thief and ended up stealing everything, Lin Mo would be in a pickle. Uncle Wang nodded. I understand. Don't worry, young master. I won't let you down. Chapter 7. Mercenary Group Leader. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Mercenary Group Leader. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Although the decoration of the venue was simple and limited, it was enough. Everything that needed to be there was present. Many people had already arrived. Sitting at the VIP seat was the village chief. His clothes were very simple and he looked no different from an ordinary villager. There was also a kind and amiable look on his face. However, he was not to be underestimated. The aura that he inadvertently exuded was proof of it. There were a few middle-aged men in their 30s. They wore robes made of animal skin. Although it was unsure what beasts they were exactly, the material looked very good. The accessories on their bodies were also not something an ordinary person could afford. Their eyes were bright. At the same time, they emitted a murderous aura. At a glance, one could tell they spill blood to earn a living. Uncle Wong introduced, they are from the Wolf Mercenary Group and Dragon Tiger Mercenary Group. Suddenly, there was a commotion coming from the door. 4 or 5 people walked in. From the looks of it, they belonged to a mercenary group. The leader was wearing a belt made from python skin on his waist. There was a huge snake head on it. The snake still retained its ferocious and terrifying look from when it was alive. In fact, it looked as if it would come back alive in the next second. Everyone was scared and automatically made way for them. I didn't expect the leader of the snake-head mercenary group to come. As the leader sat down, it caused a small uproar. The leaders from the mercenaries group had gathered in one spot. Their gazes met and they seemed determined to win. Before the auction even started, everyone could already detect the smell of gunpowder. They could not help but sigh. The Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique had attracted various people from the surrounding small towns. It's been a long time since Chushin village has been this lively. Yeah. It's also rare to see the leaders of these mercenary groups gather at the same place. I guess it's not unexpected. A Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique is pretty rare. Almost everyone would be interested in it. Indeed, a top-grade Tier 5 cultivation technique was not common. This might not be considered rare in large cities, but in small towns, it was a different story. It could even be seen as extremely precious. There were quite a few forces near Chushin village. They were evenly matched. Everyone wanted to become the overlord of this area, but they could not achieve a decisive victory. When they heard about the top-grade Tier 5 cultivation technique, they all rushed over regardless if it was true or not. Their goal was to obtain the top-grade Tier 5 cultivation technique so that they could strengthen their own forces. I wonder if this auction actually has the Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique. So many mercenary leaders have attended. The news should be true. No one would joke about such a thing unless they were trying to sabotage themselves. Moreover, it's not a good idea to fool these mercenary leaders. If they can't bring out the item, this place will be destroyed. I wonder who will win the Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique. Apparently, the leader of the Dragon Tiger mercenary group had brought along a lot of spirit stones. The Wolf mercenary group is also quite wealthy. Supposedly, they completed a few difficult missions a couple of days ago. Everyone was discussing among themselves. Wu Jin held the auction hammer in his hand and slowly walked onto the stage. He was the auctioneer Uncle Wong had hired. Allegedly, he was a decent person. Lin Mo planned to observe him for a period of time. If things went wrong, he would replace him. This auction has officially started. There are a total of 5 items up for grabs. The first item is a Tier 3 top-grade essence pill. Starting price is 1000 low-grade spirit stones. As soon as he finished speaking, the village chief said, 2000 low-grade spirit stones. Lin Mo looked at the village chief without batting an eyelid. He was an upright person who guarded the village. Moreover, he had never taken anything from the villagers or used his position to make a profit. Thus, he did not have much wealth. The village chief only bid to help Lin Mo and to liven up the atmosphere. As expected, after the village chief's bid, more and more people joined in. There was no longer a need for the village chief to make further bids. The place had a proper atmosphere and the bids were getting higher and higher. 2,500 low-grade spirit stones. The leader of the Snakehead mercenary group, Guo-1, made a bid. He rarely used medicinal pills. The ones he had were mostly first or second rank. Guo-1 did not expect the first item to be auctioned would be a third-rank medicinal pill. This excited him quite a bit. 3,000 low-grade spirit stones. Another voice followed closely from behind. It was none other than the leader of the Dragon Tiger mercenary group, Li Yunfei. His eyes were basically burning as he looked at the pill on the stage. He needed it to increase his strength. Li Yunfei was the weakest leader among the three mercenary groups. He had just entered the 6th rank, so he urgently needed this kind of pill to consolidate his strength. The price tripled in an instant, causing many people to drop out. Only the mercenary group leaders were competing. I knew it. Ordinary people like us won't win. There's no way I could afford to compete with them. Guo-1 and Li Yunfei clearly wanted this pill. The two of them continued to go up against each other, making the atmosphere more lively. On the other hand, the leader of the Wolf mercenary group, Huang Keegan, stayed silent. He was the first of the three mercenary group leaders to reach the 6th rank and was proud of his achievement. Despite that, there was a huge gap between the 6th and 7th stages. In other words, this pill could not help him increase his strength. If one of the other two mercenary group leaders bought it, they would reduce the power gap between them. The advantage Huang Keegan previously had would slowly disappear. So, he decided to wait and observe the situation. If there really was a top-grade tier 5 cultivation technique, he would definitely buy it no matter the cost. Chapter 8. The auction begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. The auction begins. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. In the end, the pill was bought by Guo-1 at the price of 4,000 spirit stones. It was 4 times the original price. At the same time, a system notification sounded in Lin Mo's mind. Ding! The host has successfully auctioned a Tier 3 top-grade Chi Essence pill. Successfully triggered 500 times return. Obtained a Tier 5 top-grade Profound Chi pill, Chaos pill. Although it was a Tier 5 top-grade pill, it could not be compared to the Heavenly Recovery pill. It would not benefit Lin Mo much at the moment. Lin Mo planned to use the Chaos pill to exchange for spirit stones at the next auction. This way, he could also continue to increase the auction house's reputation. Meanwhile, Wu Jin was smiling. The first item for auction had already given him great confidence. It was likely that the subsequent items would be better. The second item is a low-grade Tier 4 herb, worry.free grass. Starting price is 3,000 low-grade spirit stones. Wu Jin carefully took out a tray. There were a few tender green leaves on it. They looked no different from ordinary grass, but everyone could smell its faint refreshing medicinal fragrance. L.C. Even the starting price is not something ordinary people like us can afford. The starting price put off many people. On the other hand, Li Yunfei was overjoyed. He was somewhat glad that he did not win the bid for the Chi Essence pill. To him, the worry.free grass was better because its effects and medicinal properties were more gentle. It was more suitable for him to consolidate his 6th stage foundation establishment strength. Moreover, the worry.free grass was useless to Huang Keegan. Thus, he would not place a bid. As for Guo-1, he had just spent a large portion of his spirit stones, so he should not be buying the herb. Other than those two, Li Yunfei believed that no one would be able to outbid him. Guo-1 felt a little bit regretful in his heart. Forget it, the Chi Essence pill isn't bad. I still have a chance at getting the Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique. I'll save my spirit stones for now. Everything went exactly as Li Yunfei predicted. He ended up buying the worry-free grass for 6,000 low-grade spirit stones. Ding! The host has successfully auctioned a low-grade tier for worry-free grass. Successfully triggered 1,000 times return. Obtained a low-grade tier 7 worry-free fruit. The worry-free fruit was a product of the worry-free grass. In fact, it was the essence of the entire herb. It was even rarer and did not have any side effects. Not only could it quickly heal wounds, but it could also help the user attain the next level. The third item is a tier 4 top-grade martial art, frost sword technique. Starting price is 5,000 low-grade spirit stones. Uncle Wong took out a wooden box. It was made of high-quality agarwood. One could see that it was quite old. The lines on it were almost indistinguishable and the surrounding edges were also somewhat off. Traces of time were revealed everywhere. There was also a faint layer of blue ice crystal covering the external layer of the box. The moment Uncle Wong opened the box, a chill instantly struck him. Everyone could vaguely see the frosty chi surrounding the box. Indeed, it was a genuine tier 4 top-grade martial art. Huang Keegan could not hold himself back any longer. He immediately shouted, 5,500 spirit stones. A tier 4 top-grade martial art would certainly help in his cultivation. Besides, the tier 5 top-grade martial art may not even exist. It could be a gimmick that the auction house had deliberately created to hype things up. Even if it really existed, it might not be suitable for him. If his cultivation was unsuccessful, then everything would be pointless. It was better to settle for the second best option. Most people present had the same thoughts as Huang Keegan. This also included Li Yunfei. He planned to go all out for this cultivation technique and shouted, 5,600 spirit stones. Guo Wen joined the bidding as well. However, he was a little worried because he did not bring a lot of spirit stones. Originally, he only wanted to join in the fun. He did not expect so many good things to be on auction. In other words, he was not well prepared. The gazes of the mercenary leaders met, creating crackling sparks. They were all determined to win. In the end, this cultivation technique was bought by Li Yunfei at the price of 7,000 spirit stones. Guo Wen and Huang Keqian were so angry that they could only hit their chests and stomp their feet. Their only hope was that the subsequent items would be better. Ding! The host has successfully auctioned a tier 4 top-grade martial art, the frost sword technique. Successfully triggered 1,000 times return. Obtained a high-grade tier 7 sword art, frost sword manual. When Lin Mo heard the notification sound in his head, he instantly knew the frost sword manual was something extremely powerful. Since he had just learned the frost sword technique before auctioning the article off, the two of them came hand in hand. The fourth item is a tier 3 top-grade black fish egg. Starting price is 2,000 low-grade spirit stones. Compared to the previous item, the black fish egg was rather lacking. It did not interest many people. Ironfish were creatures from the Black Water Lake in the ancient forest. Due to their personalities, they were very difficult to tame. Moreover, their habitats were very well hidden. Not many people had spotted an ironfish before. Needless to say, this was their first time seeing a black fish egg. Furthermore, they had no idea how to raise it. For a moment, those who were interested stared at the pitch-black fish egg on the tray until they forgot to bid. The fish egg was like black jade. Some might even think it was a piece decoration. No one has ever raised an iron fish before. Maybe you can tame it while it's still young. The iron fish are known for their bad temper. It wouldn't be easy to tame them even if they were young. I think it's better to just eat the egg. Besides, the egg makes a great tonic. If you have the means, you can add all kinds of herbs and boil them together with the egg. Everyone was discussing lividly. There were not many people who actually bid. After all, the practicality of the fish egg was not great. The group leaders were mostly satisfied with their items such as the Chi Essence Pill and Worry-Free Grass. They did not need the fish egg to replenish their strength. Hence, to avoid wasting spirit stones, they refrained from bidding this round. In the end, the black fish egg was bought by a merchant at the price of 3,000 low-grade spirit stones. Ding! The host has successfully auctioned a Tier 3 top-grade black fish egg. Successfully triggered 3,000 times return. Obtained a Tier 6 top-grade lookout fish egg. Chapter 9. The appearance of a Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. The appearance of a Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. So far, 4 items have appeared. The auction was coming to an end. Since the Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique had yet to make an appearance, the audience could not sit still. What's going on? Where's the Tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique? Do you have it or not? Did you trick us into coming here? You probably only have the Tier 4 cultivation technique. In order to attract more people, you lied and said it's Tier 5. Wu Jin tried his best to calm the crowd down, but it was to no avail. In fact, he was not too confident about the article in question either. Lin Mo had yet to bring it out. It might not even exist in the first place. At this moment, Lin Mo walked up to the stage and whispered to Wu Jin. Everyone, please calm down. We understand how you feel. The next item will be auctioned by the owner of this auction house himself. After Wu Jin said that, Lin Mo was in charge. The latter slowly took out a venerable-looking box. This box looked even more ancient than the one before. There were mysterious carvings on it. They looked like totems and symbols. There also seemed to be an image of a dragon and an elephant. In an instant, the noisy crowd became silent. They stared at the box attentively. There was indeed something extraordinary about this box. The box was even emitting a powerful aura. Whatever that was stored inside, it must be really incredible. Everyone subconsciously held their breaths. It was so quiet that even the sound of a needle dropping on the ground could be heard. As Lin Mo opened the box, the sound of a dragon's roar could be heard. It was so loud that it caused everyone's spirits to shake. Pale colored gas rose from the box to the top. Then, it began to take the shape of elephants with long tusks. The gas elephants charged toward the crowd menacingly. This caused the people sitting in the front row to involuntarily lean back. They were scared that they would be trampled by the herd of elephants. However, since the elephants were made of gas, they dispersed after a short while. The 5th item up for auction, a Tier 5 top-grade martial art, Dragon Elephant Fist Technique. Starting price is 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. The audience's expressions were almost in sync. Their mouths were agape as they stared at Lin Mo. They were unable to recover from the shock. There really was a top-grade Tier 5 cultivation technique. Wu Jin and Uncle Wang were equally surprised. Lin Mo was telling the truth after all. This was not merely a gimmick. Uncle Wang knew that Lin Mo was robbed, so he did not expect the latter to have such a good item on him. His respect for Lin Mo had risen to a whole new level. I must get my hands on that cultivation technique. 15,000 low-grade spirit stones. This sudden call for a price grabbed everyone's attention. For a moment, the audience went crazy and began bidding non-stop. The price rose higher and higher. Even though the price was several times higher than the previous items, not many people backed out. The crowd was full of enthusiasm. A top-grade cultivation technique was extremely rare. Some people might not be able to attain one their entire lives. The crowd got even more heated. Many people's eyes were bloodshot. Even the veins on their foreheads were popping out. They were hysterical. It almost looked like they were going to fight. This was basically the climax of the auction. It was insane. Of course, there were rich cultivators in the crowd. However, they could not be compared to the leaders of the mercenary groups. After all, they had an entire gang backing them up. 22,000 spirit stones. Everyone was annoyed at Huang Keegan's bid, but there was nothing they could do. Their eyes got even redder due to the anger. The treasure was within their reach. If only they had the money. Li Yunfei could not help but sigh. In the end, we still lost to the wolf mercenary group. Meanwhile, Guo Wen was astonished. He did not expect to find so many good items on auction in this small village. Even a top-grade tier 5 cultivation technique was available. It was a pity that he did not bring enough money today. However, on second thought, he had already gained a lot from this trip. Guo Wen comforted himself by thinking, perhaps there would be another opportunity next time. Upon seeing that no one else was bidding, Huang Keegan's face lit up. His patience had paid off. If he had bid on the previous items, he would not be able to obtain the tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique so easily. With the Dragon Elephant Fist technique, Huang Keegan's strength would definitely increase exponentially. He might even be able to use it to fight against a level 7 expert. It was not impossible. In the end, tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique was sold to Huang Keegan for 20,200 spirit stones. There was no notification from the system. As the rule stated, item obtained from the system that was auctioned would not be counted. Although he was well aware, Lin Mo still felt a little disappointed. Despite that, Lin Mo had obtained many spirit stones. So, he felt like he did not lose out. Our auction has come to a successful conclusion. Don't feel discouraged if you did not get your desired item. There will be another tier 5 article in the next auction. As for whether it's martial arts or medicinal herbs, please come and see for yourself. Lin Mo turned around and left after leaving a cliffhanger. Even though the auction had already ended, the enthusiasm of the crowd still did not die down. This trip was not a waste at all. I actually got to see a tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique. As expected, the people from the Lin family are really different. With such a large sum of money and so many good items, their younger generation is indeed formidable. I think the biggest winner today is the Wolf Mercenary Group. With a tier 5 top-grade cultivation technique, they'll soon become the strongest force in Chushin Village. Chapter 10. Foundation Establishment Success, Golden Legend. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Foundation Establishment Success, Golden Legend. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. By the time everyone had dispersed, it was already midnight. Uncle Wang recorded the earnings. His face was full of excitement. Young Master Lin Mo, we've successfully auctioned off 5 items and earned a total of 44,000 spirit stones. That's roughly equivalent to the entire foundation of an ordinary mercenary group. Uncle Wang was rather shocked when he saw this number. His hands even trembled. He had never seen so many spirit stones in his entire life. On the other hand, Lin Mo was a little calmer. This was only the beginning. In the future, he would definitely earn more. The more resources he had, the more items he could auction off. Then, the system would hand out more rewards. As things snowballed, he would grow stronger and stronger. At that time, he would be able to obtain top-grade spirit stones effortlessly. Upon seeing Lin Mo's calm expression, Uncle Wang suddenly felt ashamed of himself. Nonetheless, his heart was filled with respect for the former. Uncle Wang, continue to collect items for the upcoming auction. I don't want anything below tier 3. For items above tier 4, buy them even if they cost a large sum of money. I'll be cultivating for the next few days. Don't disturb me if there's nothing urgent. Lin Mo had his own goals. He wanted to raise the quality of the auction house bit by bit. Furthermore, he would not reject any visitors. If they could attend, it meant they had money. This way, Lin Mo could earn a lot of spirit stones. After giving his instructions, Lin Mo once again went to the secluded place behind the auction hall and began cultivating. This time, he received 4 items from the system. They were the Worry.Free Fruit, Lookout Fish Egg, Chaos Pill, and Frost Sword Manual. Lin Mo immediately chose to refine the Worry. Free Fruit. The entire fruit floated in mid-air and its emerald green color made it look like a high-quality jade. Through the light, one could see the plump and juicy flesh of the fruit. Then, as if it was being pulled by some unknown power, the fruit slowly entered Lin Mo's body. Extremely pure energy flowed through his extraordinary meridians and Lin Mo was enveloped by an exuberant aura. Every single one of Lin Mo's meridians was being nurtured by the aura of life. He felt like he had been reborn. The spiritual energy within his body was like a surging tide, rising at an extreme speed. In an instant, Lin Mo leveled up to level 6. Lin Mo felt like he had opened the door to a new world, a realm where nobody had reached before. The energy within his body became orderly. As if an invisible large hand had appeared, it guided them towards a certain point. The massive amount of spiritual energy formed a whirlpool. It continuously absorbed and purified all matters. Faint light spots floated in the air. They gathered together before condensing into the shape of a small stone cube. This was the sign of a successful foundation establishment. Although the stone cube was very small, it contained the purest and most powerful energy. An ancient aura appeared from the bottom of the stone cube. Seemingly, a mysterious existence had been awakened. A pure golden color spread out throughout the entire area. It was filled with excellence, nobility, and greatness. An ordinary person's stone cube would be white in color. Lin Mo was different because he had a god-slaying body. His body allowed him to absorb the purest energy, thus, creating the golden cube. This was also an indication of his powerful abilities. Sigh, the progress is still a little slow. Perhaps the resources collected at Chushin village are becoming less and less useful. If anyone heard Lin Mo's words, they would probably be angered to death. Only a few days ago, Lin Mo was still at level 1. Not only did he jump to the 6th rank in a short period of time, but he had also successfully built his foundation. A normal person would not be able to catch up with him even if they took a rocket. Even the world's most renowned genius would take an entire month. Lin Mo's speed was clearly abnormal. Suddenly, Lin Mo felt a strange life force fluctuation. It came from none other than the lookout fish egg. He took it out to have a look. There were faint ripples on the surface of the white fish egg. It seemed like there was an actual small fish swimming in there. The system did not provide much information about the fish egg. It was only said that the fish could swim in the wind. Nonetheless, the fish egg was still a tier 6 top-grade item. It's likely to be strong. With a tap of Lin Mo's fingertip, milky white spiritual energy slowly flowed out. It was mixed with a faint golden glow. The spiritual energy quickly entered the fish egg. Lin Mo was unsure if he had mistaken, but the ripples on the surface of the fish egg appeared to be even more obvious. He allocated a portion of his life force to the lookout fish egg. Next, he only needed to wait for the fish egg to hatch. After that, Lin Mo continued to cultivate his frost sword technique. Coincidentally, the frost sword manual came in handy. The two complemented each other and an amazing power was unleashed. The outcomes were divided into 3 stages. A small success, great success, and perfection. Lin Mo was very lucky because both the technique and manual's attributes were compatible. His cultivation went even smoother than the dragon elephant fist technique. As Lin Mo trained, the temperature around him became lower and lower. However, it did not seem to affect him. A few days later, pale blue ice crystals formed around Lin Mo. The ground was covered with a thin layer of ice. It almost felt like winter. From afar, it looked like he was wrapped in a gigantic ice cocoon. Rumble. There was a loud bang and countless ice crystals were shattered. A vertical light shot up into the sky and countless snowflakes scattered everywhere. At the same time, every single crystal was covered with chi. Lin Mo slowly opened his eyes. His gaze was cold and an icy aura surrounded him. It almost felt like he was the god of ice and snow. All his senses were sharper than ever, as though he was a sword. The air was also filled with killing intent. In just 5 days, he had already trained to the great success stage. Even if Lin Mo was to meet a level 7 expert, he could face them without any issues. At the same time, the lookout fish egg had also hatched.